Hawaii will serve first. They're wearing green, and Texas wearing Texas orange and white. Quandl and Harrell down the line, out of bounds. A good start, critical for Texas. Hawaii 1, Texas nothing. This is game 1. Carolyn Tayatoffa to serve. She has been brilliant in this tournament. Out to the outside. Spike is dug by Hawaii. Another dig by Hawaii. And Texas with a free ball. And off the hands, out of bounds. And Paul Sunderland, interesting lineup change. Dee Dunstone starting for Carrie Trishman.
Starting in the right front, both players have had their share of injuries. Dee Dunstone, 4 knee surgeries, her leg heavily bandaged. Big opportunity here in the NCAA finals.
Quandl and Harrell with the serve, and the little dump shot, as we call it in volleyball, by Martina Sensorova. Our first substitution coming into the match, Miley Golden from Kekaha, Hawaii. She will serve, and out goes Dunstone. That is to save 1 rotation. We expect to see Trishman when Golden gets to the front line. Here comes Texas. And a great back set. A pound through the block. Stacy Nichols. Just to run over the rules very quickly. Best 3 out of 5 game match. Each game to 15 points. You must win by 2. You can only score when you serve. And you cannot touch the net at any time. T. Williams. And T. Williams records her first kill. Side out Hawaii, which means they get possession.
T. Williams, number 1. You're going to see the ball going to her time and again on the left side. That time just over the block, into the corner. Very tough shot.
Into the middle, Davenport. She's double teamed and blocked. But Texas gets it back over. Davenport spikes it. And both teams appearing just a little tight. Stuff! Dawn Davenport. She is Texas's best player by far. One of the keys.
Well, Texas has got to block balls just like Dawn Davenport did there. Play Texas volleyball, keep pressure on the University of Hawaii, and they're doing it so far here. Serving tough, and the response from T. Williams. Texas can play Texas volleyball, but Hawaii's got an insurance policy in T. Williams because she can get them out of trouble time and again with high spikes from the outside.
1-0 Hawaii in game 1. T. Williams, short serve, middle, blocked. They're double teaming Davenport in the middle, they being Hawaii. And that's perhaps a good move. We will see. Sensorova, Tayatoffa. And Tayatoffa says goodbye on her opening chance. Carolyn, what an effort in the semifinals ball.
Carolyn Tayatoffa likes to hit the ball down the line, down that outside corridor between the block and the sideline, and they must take that away, the University of Texas, if they're going to stop her.
Off the hands, Dagmara Szyszczak gets a kill. Dagmara originally from Poland. Now resides in Dallas, Texas, when she's not going to UT in Austin. Dagmara with the serve. Inside to Forberg. And so far in the early going, very even. Hawaii gets the side out. They lead 2-0. Mary Robbins will serve. She redshirted last year, as we have a substitution, and as we expected, one of the best blockers and spikers on Hawaii, Carrie Trishman, checks in. Back set. Inside. Ball is dug, but a net on one of the Hawaii players, and a first-team All-American back to serve. Verna Klubniken gives the ball to Texas.
Ball set to the outside. You can see the blocker's hands not over the net penetrating, taking away angles. They get too old.
Set is too tight, and the ball goes down. If you're wondering about that unique angle you just saw, that's our ESPN kill cam mounted for the NCAA Women's Collegiate Volleyball Championships. Give you a little different view of the action at the net or in the trenches. Ball rifled out of bounds. And the point. 2-2. Weren't a lot of people that thought we'd see this matchup, Paul Sunderland, of Texas and Hawaii, but Texas pulling off that unbelievable upset over UCLA. Then undefeated. Now they've gone home. Ball is blocked. And here comes the free ball. Tied at 2, game 1. Tayatoffa. Doug. Into the middle. Nichols. Stacy Nichols. In the semifinals, she had 14 kills, only 1 error for a .619 percentage, Paul.
Stacy Nichols and Sue Shelfout. Shelfout, the All-American setter, running what we call the 3 set. It's about a meter away from the setter as Hawaii comes back with exactly the same play.
Carrie Trishman, who is playing with a stress fracture, we're told, in her left leg, but it hasn't hampered her too much. Look at that percentage. Leads the team in spiking percentage. If you're wondering, it is not an injury that will get worse. She will have it worked on after the season as Quandolyn Harrell moves one down.
Quandolyn Harrell is a key for the Texas Longhorns. Look at her up above the block and then just chopping a radical cross-court angle.
Quandolyn had 14 kills in the semis. That is Trishman again. She comes from Manhattan Beach, California, one of the hotbeds of American volleyball. A 6-footer, been bothered by all kinds of injuries. Deep serve out of bounds. And so Texas gets the ball. They lead by 1, 3-2 here in game 1, and we're going to have a substitution. And in comes the Texas spark plug. She is a freshman, 5'11", from Dubuque, Iowa, Janine Grimmel. And what a match she had. Great on defense, good on offense. T into the net. And you might notice 2 players blocking T at every turn.
Every time T turns around, there will be 2 blockers. You can count on it.
4-2 Texas. Out to T. Here she comes. Over the top, out of bounds. So 2 hitting errors by one of the best players in the nation, the runner-up for the most valuable player, NCAA ace. And Texas, as they did against UCLA, off to a hot start. And Hawaii forced to call timeout. We talked about the serving of Janine Grimmel. She just served an ace, forcing Hawaii to use their first timeout. Trishman bombs it, and it's recovered by Texas. There's Grimmel out of the back line. And Hawaii touched the net. That is a point to Texas. Before this game, I talked to some of the Texas fans, and they were enthusiastic, as we can see the net. T. Williams kills cross court.
I love the net cam, Chris. Only the net cam can get the shot of the follow-through net. Again, for those viewers not used to seeing volleyball, you can never touch the net at any time during the course of the game.
You can see Trishman's leg bandaged up to her knee pad. Her left leg is the one that's hurting. Little dink, great up by Forsberg. And Grimmel with the save. Blocked. Nichols, deep on the line. So Stacy Nichols picking up where she left off. And Grimmel, so important in the backcourt.
Wide open, decides to dink the ball, and Forsberg, former national team player from Sweden, is all over it. Look at T. Williams over the net. That's a great block anywhere on the planet in the women's volleyball. Texas covers, able to convert.
7-2 Texas. Sincerova with a strong serve save. And Sincerova can't handle it. Nice serve received by Texas on that spinner. And back to serve is Katie Salen. 13 kills against UCLA. She really shined. Good pass. Hawaii on the attack. Back set. Poked over. Back set T. And T tomahawks it down. We'll keep a close look on T. Williams' spiking stats, so key to Hawaii.
8 attempts so far tonight, Chris. 5 successful kills, thrown in with a couple of errors.
Don Davenport, Taiatafa with a block, and it is put out of bounds, and Hawaii gets a point.
That ball just set much too tight for Davenport to hit successfully from the right side. Taiatafa all over it, covered it right back onto Davenport.
T. Williams with the serve, outside. Shishchak sneaks it through. Shishchak has been bothered by the flu all week, but she has responded very well. She's played well in the semifinals as Quandolyn Harrell checks back in. This is the NCAA Division I Women's Collegiate Volleyball Finals. Quandolyn Harrell into the front line. Quandolyn, a 6-foot sophomore from Elgin, Texas. Inside Forsberg, jams it out of bounds. I had a chance to ask one of Texas's longtime fans, Betty Grubbs, how are you going to do tonight, Betty? She said, we're going to win. They have a lot of confidence now after that big win over UCLA. And they should. The Bruins were undefeated, #1. Hawaii is ranked #3. Blocked and down. And Texas taking it to Hawaii early.
Good reaction by the Texas block. This ball's passed too tight to the net. Sincerova tries to make the save, and Quandolyn Harrell up over the net, stuffing the ball down.
Taiatafa, she gets the ball. Carolyn. And you can imagine Texas has been told to take line on Taiatafa, set out of bounds. And Paul, you have to do that against Kayatava. Take that line, don't you think?
Players have favorite shots. Just like a baseball hitter, you don't give him the inside pitch when that's his swinging zone, right in the gate, so to speak. And they're just working Kayatava. She had a successful kill early on. That time they stopped her down the line.
Remember, University of Hawaii, they are the defending NCAA champions. They're going for back-to-back. And this would be a huge upset as the ball put away by Davenport. But there comes a time when it's not an upset anymore. Texas playing well.
Texas playing extremely well, and their confidence carrying over from the UCLA match and the quality of their play towards the end of the season. I'm surprised a little bit about how easily they've gone out to this lead, but it's going to be a long night.
Texas blocking line. They forced Kayatava to turn the ball out of bounds, and another timeout for Dave Shoji. Texas has started off very, very hot. An upset brewing once again. The Longhorns in the finals. Many say very surprisingly, but they are making believers out of the fans here at the arena. Hawaii trailing by 8. Trishman spikes it into the block, and Hawaii is now out of timeouts, so they will have to really respond big.
Well, they can't stop momentum again, and they only have 3 points, Chris. If they're going to come back, that's a long way to go without a timeout left.
Quandolin with the big bomb. Quandolin Harrell, 14 kills against UCLA, and tremendous athletic ability.
Good set by Shelfout. One blocker, middle blocker, Trishman is late, and Quandolin Harrell, I think, a much better spiker from the right. Shows it to you there.
Kayatava down the line, but Texas is there in the rotation defense. Harrell spikes it out of bounds. Explain the rotation defense that Texas is using, Paul, quickly.
Well, the right back player rotates to the net to cover Dink. The middle back player rotates to the right to cover the vacated portion of the court. Rotation defense.
Into the middle. Beautiful dig by Forberg. And a free ball to Texas. Spread offense. Inside Texas. Dug by Hawaii. T. Williams with the blast. Somehow when T. Williams approaches the ball, the blood starts pumping. You know something exciting is going to happen. 11-4. Hawaii trying to respond. Inside, Nichols. Blocked. Shelfout to Harrell, and Harrell drives it. So Quandolin Harrell off to a quick start. And Quandolin will now leave for the backcourt specialist. 25 kills in this tournament, but she's not quite as good as Grimmel in the backcourt. That's why she comes out.
Grimmel a much better back row player, and I still say Quandolin Harrell much better on the right than on the left because she has to hurry as a spiker. When she has to wait for that high set to the left side, she has a bit of difficulty.
Substitutions for Hawaii. Trishman will come out, and Miley Golden will come in. Also into the front line, a woman we haven't seen at all in the tournament so far, Tony Nishida, freshman from Pearl City, Hawaii. An outside hitter, 5'8". Let's see what she can do. And right off Golden, out of bounds. She couldn't recover it.
Perfect pass, combination play. We call it the reverse X off the top of the block. Miley not quite able to make the dig.
Into the middle, T. Williams with the quick set. Hawaii, one of the best hitting teams in the nation. They hit a percentage of .284, 9th nationally. It's much like a batting average. Into the middle and down.
That play was made by Grimmel. That serve had ace written all over it. She dives after it. Watch the reaction. Perfect pass right there for the side out. That play made by Grimmel.
11-4, and Hawaii looks a little confused right now. Grimmel, another perfect pass. Shelfout, slam dinks it.
Not a great shot right into the middle of the defense, but it goes down.
Shelfout, the leader of the Texas squad. She is a senior from Houston, Texas. Most of the players are from the Texas area. Forward. Another dig by Grimmel. She's everywhere. Shishchak.
Shishchak has shown us a lot of change of pace and ball movement from the left side. There she showed us the clean heater. I'd like to see her do a lot more of that.
Game 1, Texas taking it to Hawaii. T. And T squeezes it through, but T. Williams has really been the only effective Wahine hitter.
T. Williams, 8 kills already. The 3-setter, 31. Dawn Davenport there, but her hands over the net. Just 1/100 of a second late. T. Williams, #1, going back to serve. pulls the ball by her.
Laura Phillips into the match, a transfer from a very strong junior college program at Golden West College out in Santa Ana, California. She started early. Great defense. That was Phillips. Texas, one-on-one. Shizchok, touch, side out, Texas.
Dawn Davenport getting lots of swings, both in the middle. This ball goes to the outside, off the top of the block, side out to Texas.
Substitution, Quandolin Harrell, the kill machine, back in the front line. Good serve, and Texas really pushing Hawaii deep. They did it to UCLA, and now they're doing it to Hawaii. Middle, straight down, Dawn Davenport. Unbelievable. Dawn Davenport in the semifinals only hit 111 so far tonight. Paul?
10 attempts, 5 kills, hitting for a much better percentage.
And now game point number 1 for the Lady Longhorns. And a service winner. Texas continues their unbelievable roll. Hawaii and Texas. Here we go. Texas in white, Hawaii in green. And as Texas has done all year, great on defense. Ball socked up, back, back, back. They have it. They'll go to Harrell. Quandolin. And Harrell puts it away. Very interesting. We talked about Hawaii being one of the best offensive teams. Well, Texas has been so good defensively. They held UCLA under 200 spiking percentage, Paul, and if they can do that to Hawaii, they can win. Forver over the block. That's Anna Forver, a 6-foot senior from Stockholm, Sweden. Interesting recruiting story. She wanted to go to UCLA, but UCLA didn't have enough room for her, so Coach Andy Banikowski sent the tape to Dave Shoji. Shoji said, hey, we can use her. Let's get her in here. And she is now playing for the National Championship.
Important to note that UCLA and Hawaii are not in the same conference.
1-1 in game 2. If you weren't with us for game 1, not surprising, it went very quickly. 15-4. Texas took it to Hawaii. Texas stuffing, roofing, and jamming at the net.
Tafa again going down the line at the beginning of this point, getting rejected, covering herself, setting to the outside to Sincerova, and Quandolin Harrell reaching way over the net to stuff the ball down. Texas continues to serve the ball down the line, Chris.
And Taya Tafa trying to hit the ball down the line, but Texas is out there, and then Werner Klubniken signaling a point and out of bounds. Taya Tafa coming off a brilliant semifinal performance. Trishman stuffed, and the sophomore Quandolin Harrell, an honor student in computer programming, and she had this one programmed perfectly.
Well, this one speaks for itself. You should take that videotape, high school coaches, and show it to your players, because that's the way it's diagrammed.
Harrell dinks, and Hawaii there that time.
That ball didn't go down for Harrell, but I like that attempt. She's in good rhythm. She's thinking out there on the court. Little roll shot that time. It'll keep the Hawaii defense guessing.
Quandolin, a brilliant dig by Taya Tafa. Back set. Nichols. And Hawaii has a chance here. Good set. And T. Williams rockets one cross court.
T. Williams has got to pick up some of the slack for Taya Tafa, who's struggling a little bit here in the early going. She's been leading the way for Hawaii. She's had 8 attempts so far tonight, Chris, with only 1 successful kill.
And that's going to be out of bounds. The ball has to travel inside the antenna. There are 2 little antennae on top of the net, much like the foul pole in baseball. The ball must travel inside those little pins. And finally, ball killed by Trishman and Hawaii. Now Carrie Trishman will go back. You can see the intensity on Trishman's face. 11 kills in the semis, but this is the finals, and a cross-court attempt is not quite there for Quandolin Harrell. That's a great matchup. Harrell spiking against T. Williams.
And they're against each other in the rotation. Probably the 2 most gifted physical specimens playing intercollegiate women's volleyball today.
3-3 here in game 2. Through the block. Once again, Katie Salen She's playing actually with a broken bone in her thumb. As Quandolyn Harold checks out, her left hand very heavily taped is Katie Salen. She's got a little soft cast on there. T. Williams blocked. T. Williams dinks, and it goes down. Problem is Texas had that too well scouted. Everybody on the team was there except Nick Haley.
Too many campers around the campfire. That was you take it, I've got it. No, I'll take it, because there were 3 or 4 defenders on the spot.
Tie score at 3. Outside, Shishchak high over the top, and Dagmara Shishchak off quickly.
Shishchak is having a superb match. She served for game point earlier in game 1 that Texas won, and so far she's 5 for 7 in kills.
Into the middle, it's Doug. They'll go to Dagmara. Dag with the dink. Trishman. And a back row attackers. Paul, explain that.
There's a 3-meter line, or a 10-foot line, as it's known here in the United States on the volleyball court. If you're a back row spiker, you must take off behind that line to spike successfully. Trishman was on it or in front of it.
You can see it. It's pink right in the middle of the court, or 1/3 of the way. Good defensive rally going on. Forberg is Doug. Dagmara sets, and Dagmara kills it. Sitsarova trying desperately to bring it back. She can't. And the home team, Texas, up by 2. Serving is Nichols. Into the middle, Robbins, Doug. Outside, Shishchak. And Shishchak doing a nice job of working the hands on the outside. Forberg out of bounds. And Hawaii. Iverna Klubnikin saying, no way, that ball was out.
Ball going to the outside. Forberg looking for hands here. Grimmel right on the spot, lets it go. Point for Texas.
Another hitting error by Hawaii. And Dave Shoji is up, and he puts his hands together and calls timeout. Texas won the first game 15-4. We are now in game 2, and Texas is still pouring it on. Now it is 8-3. Hawaii has already used up 1 timeout, and everything is going right for the Lady Longhorns. The Horns are in white, Hawaii in green. T. Williams puts one away, and Hawaii gets a much-needed side out.
T. Williams does not look happy, nor should she. One of the finest players in the country. Her team really having a difficult time here in the early going.
Middle, great spike by Dawn Davenport.
Again, Chris, the 3-set. It's a long, quick set. It's designed to spread the blockers, and it's working successfully. Here, Shelfout moving her feet, getting the ball in perfect hitting position. Texas celebrating.
One good thing about using that 31 or 3 set, if you get a bad pass, you're able to feed it to your setter. And head coach Dave Shoji in his 14th year, and he's checking his lineup and checking it twice because his team is taking it on the chin at the moment. Shishchak, she looks like a million, bombing from all over. Remember, Dagmara is only 5'9". How many kills, Paul?
6 kills now, Chris. No errors. Dagmara Shishchak playing superbly, and Mick Haley giving some instructions and some more encouragement.
560 wins in that man's career. He's won the Southwest Conference title 6 straight years. With this year, it's 7. Tayatafa. And Tayatafa finally squeezed one through. And Texas keen on Tayatafa, and they should.
Well, it's most of their game plan. They figure that T. Williams is going to get hers because of her physical ability, but if strategically they play a solid defensive game, they can get to Tayatafa.
And that is an ace serve for Anna Forberg. As Hawaii gets a point and cuts the lead to 4. Game 2. In the middle, Quandolyn blasts it down. Quandolyn Harold.
Quandolyn Harold. I prefer that she hits the quick rhythmic sets because she can go right over the top of the block, does so there.
Outside, Tayatafa, great dig by Shishchak. Tayatafa off the hand, Doug again to Harold. Nice dig by Forberg. And one of those rallies going on, important rally. Nichols blocked, and Martina Sintsarova, sometimes maligned because of her blocking, gets a stuff.
Sintsarova is not a bad blocker. Let's remember, she's only 5'9", can get way over the net, and does so there to save a big play. Texas is blocking superbly against Tayatapa. They get a chance here, and Harold just cannot put the ball away. Over the top, Fodoruk makes a nice dig. Texas eventually scores. Here again, the three set, you can see the set is much too low. Sintsarova right on the spot.
The quarterback of Texas, Shelfout, and has she done a marvelous job of running the Texas attack. And very surprising, I think T. Williams looks a little frustrated. She hit the ball over on 2, which is generally not a very good play.
Well, it's a bad play. It was so bad that it caught Texas by surprise. They've got to convert on those plays. They can't do anything to slow down this orange or burnt orange locomotive.
Into the match, Miley Golden, four-sport athlete in high school. Nichols, Doug, and T. Williams on the outside. I wonder if T. Williams said to Sintsarova, look, set me now. I want that ball.
And if you don't, I'm just going to hit it on 2.
Into the net. So Texas perhaps getting a little shaky. Hawaii trails by 2 here in game 2. Their big gun, T. Williams, off to a great start. She has 13 kills. She is carrying the load for Hawaii as Hawaii serves to Texas. Texas thumps it through the block. Katie Salen puts it down. And there is Salen. Played so brilliantly all season. Quandolin Harrell goes out. And in comes Janine Grimmel. Very gifted athlete. She was the state high jump champion, as well as being a fine volleyball player. Here comes T. Almost. Hawaii with the dig. T. Now 14 kills, and she means so much to Hawaii, Paul.
Leads in kills, leads in digs. A well-rounded, very mature volleyball player. Kill attempts. They know where the bank is in Hawaii.
And to put an exclamation point on that, she's only a junior. Out of bounds. She has 1 more year to add to those season records. When she is done, she will hold them all. Serving, Stacy Nichols. 8-6 Texas. Forward, Doug. Shelfout with a great save. Sue Shelfout over the net, dragging it back.
Don Davenport, the beneficiary. Ball very, very tight to the net. Shelfout going up with one hand, creating this opportunity. This is just a whiffler. Hard ball to control. Again, Grimmel right on the spot. Davenport stays with her setter. Nice play by Texas to score.
Hawaii gets a side out. And T. Williams will serve, originally from Long Beach, California. Most people think she will go on to the national team after her collegiate career. Ball is blocked. Texas back set. And a free ball. Fodoruk is Doug. Davenport. Nice dig by Sintsarova to keep the ball in play. This is the transition, as we call it in volleyball. Rejected by Tayatapa.
Texas seems to have one clear weakness, in my opinion. When Shelfout plays the ball defensively, there's no one else on the court that can set the ball effectively for them. Sintsarova stretching out, keeping the ball in play. Always hustling. And then Tayatapa not doing it so far hitting, but helping her Rainbow Wahinis blocking.
Texas stuffs Tayatapa on the ensuing play. And now Katie Salen will serve. Back set. Ball is blocked. That was Tony Nishida. Nishida, if you're wondering, is in for Mary Robbins. Perhaps a little more versatile than Robbins. Robbins has had all kinds of injury problems. In the middle of Forvert. And Shishchak is dug. It's poked over. Tayatapa blocked. And it seems to me, Paul, that Hawaii has no middle attack at all right now.
They're not threatening effectively in the middle. They've been setting from 3 sets to Farvik, but she's been getting dug. And then again, Texas completely shutting off the line against Taya Tapa.
Substitution coming into the match. Dee Dunstone replacing Farvik. Now, Dee Dunstone has had 4 knee operation on her right knee, and she is getting a 5th on her left knee at the end of the season. So how effective she can be, we will see. She's playing on sheer guts. Her legs are really beat up. But she's going to give it a try. She was a very gifted player, transferred from Nevada, Las Vegas, and now Soji, as you look at the numbers for Taya Tapa, he's going to bring back in his 3 starters. So Dave Shoji going to make the push here, Paul. Do you like this?
Well, it's a momentum change, and he's using all these substitutions to give Farvik and Trishman and some other players a chance to sit down and think about what they're doing. Close off Taya Tapa's line. You can't forget about the seam. She does have all the shots. She just prefers to go down the line.
Mary Robbins will serve. The bows. And she serves an ace, Mary Robbins. So it was a good substitution for Dave Shoji and Dean Nowak, the Wahine coaching staff. It's a 3-point Longhorn lead, but is starting to evaporate. Not this time, as Davenport rolls, and Hawaii coming in, and Nick Haley in his 9th year at Texas. The Southwest Coach of the Year. Watching his lead shrink. Shizchok, dug by Hawaii. Taya Tapa, dug. Shizchok, off speed, out of bounds, and now perhaps Texas getting a little tentative.
Well, they've changed their serve-receive pattern. They had Shizchok over on the left, moved her to the right. She had a good swing. Hawaii was able to dig it and convert.
Hawaii within 1. Davenport is blocked. Shelfeld is blocked. Taya Tapa with the drive. Taya Tapa. If you just joined us, Texas won the first game 15-4. This is game 2. Texas and Hawaii for the NCAA Division I championship. 4 teams in the semifinals. UCLA and Illinois have gone home.
When you need a side out, you talk it over in the huddle and you say, Sue All-American setter and Don Davenport All-American hitter, get me a side out right now, and they did so.
That was not a legal play, was it?
It was not. The ball contacted Mary Robbins below the waist. You cannot touch the volleyball below the waist. Should have been called, wasn't.
Gwendolyn Harrell is in the front line for Texas. Number 2 in white. We'll see if she makes a difference. Trishman, and Carrie Trishman, playing with a stress fracture in her lower left leg, responds in a big way.
Trishman looks very quick to me right now. She's been resting that leg in anticipation of this final. She's jumping well tonight and putting the ball down.
She had a day off in between the semis and the finals. That had to help her. Gwendolyn Harrell is blocked. Quick set to Taya Tapa. Cincerovo with a great save. Shelfeld, Davenport, and Davenport puts it away. Dawn Davenport, the senior from Marion, Indiana, the Southwest Conference Player of the Year, and she will serve. 10 kills for Dawn, and we're only in game 2. Best 3 out of 5. Dink, nice play by Nichols. And Nichols kills it. Stacy Nichols with a big league play.
Sometimes better be lucky than good, and I've always wondered why in tennis you hit the ball off the tape for a winner and apologize. In volleyball, no such thing. If you put the ball down anyway off the top of the tape, take that.
Texas up by 1. Taya Tapa. And the Texas defense, it emerged at time. So Carolyn, Taya Tapa. 23 kills in the semis.
Nowhere near that pace tonight, Chris.
Nichols, once again, Stacy Nichols. She's thinking to herself, let's start the season today, and I would be a first-team All-American. And
She's been an All-American when it's counted.
Certainly a candidate for the All-Tournament team. Out of bounds. And Texas now up by 2. Hawaii lost game 1. 15-4. They trail here in game 2, 13-11 against a very fired-up Texas Longhorn squad. Texas has been digging. Texas has been setting. And Texas has been cranking. Just like that.
Gwendolyn Harrell booming the ball from the left side. Nice set, nice defense by Texas. They go to game point, Chris.
Game point number 1. That was Dagmara Shishchak with the dig. Middle. It's Doug Shishchak again. Back set. Goodbye. No. Hello. Forward. Brings it back. Texas. Just over. T. Williams. A marvelous save by Anna Forberg to save the game.
Against no block. A lot of players will head for cover against no block, but not Forberg. International experience, she hangs in, ends up saving game point number 1 for her Hawaii Rainbows.
Miley Golden with the serve, blocked. That's a play we might remember. A saving play by Anna Forberg, Texas, with the slap shot. Verna Klub-Meeken signals substitution coming in. Janine Grimmel, the Iowa Player of the Year. She put away the final kill against UCLA in the semis, and now she's asked to get the final serve in against Hawaii. You saw Tony Nishida line up in a hitting spot. T. Williams. Dug by Davenport. Salin. Down. T. Williams saves it. And I think Salin a little surprised on the back set.
You've always got to be ready at game point. T. Williams, number 1, the most valuable player for Hawaii. They're going to go to her when it counts. She comes through. They dig her. Katie Salin not quite ready. Jumps over the net. Stuffs the ball just on the line.
Texas responds with the side out. And now, second game point for Texas, game 2.
Come here.
Outside, Nishida. And Tony Nishida carves one inside the block. She was a red shirt last year. A left side hitter deluxe. And another substitution coming for Hawaii. Phillips comes in to serve. T. Williams gets a rest. Hawaii trailing by 3. Davenport is blocked. That's a point.
I'm still thinking back to the play that Forberg made in the back row. And now here she makes another in the front row, stuffing Dawn Davenport to keep them in the game.
Phillips once again. Texas lead down to 2. Shishchak through the block. Touch. All lines people signaling touch.
Shishchak has been superb here early on. Again, she had the stomach flu earlier in the week. She looks strong and smooth tonight.
Dave Shoji rotating his players, trying to slow down the momentum. 2 times Texas has served for the game. This will be game point number 4. Make that 3 times. And once again, the quick set. Anna Forberg.
You can see the confidence that Martina Sincerova not only has in her hitters, but herself, going to the quick set in a very crucial point, game point.
Carrie Trishman, the blocker, checks in, and Mary Robbins, the server. It's a 2-point Lady Longhorn lead. Mary Robbins in for defense. Back set, Davenport, and a beautiful play by Texas. They ran Davenport behind, and none of the Hawaii blockers could get there.
Good set by Shishchak. Good lateral movement by middle blocker Dawn Davenport. The one-legged takeoff, very common to women's volleyball. She executes it perfectly.
5th game point, Katie Salin. Take that Shishchak with the serve, blocked. Hawaii into the middle, Trishman, dug. Davenport, joust, down, out. Hawaii gets it. A bang-bang play at the net.
It's a difficult play to call. Verna Klub-Meeken, one of the best referees in the game, very decisive about it.
On a jousted ball, if it goes out on your side, the other team is perceived to hit it last. I think that was a good call. Stuff. Hawaii with a beautiful 2-person roof.
Sincerova whooping it up, and no better way to get your team going than blocking balls. Sincerova, Trishman right on the spot.
Hawaii within 1. They need a kill. Grimmel. Grimmel again. Outside, Taya Tafa, yes!
Outside to Taya Tafa. She's been struggling through the block, down. Deuce game here in game number 2.
We are tied at 14. Grimmel drives it in. If you're wondering why Quandolyn Harrell is not back in, we believe it's because Texas is out of substitutions. Grimmel must stay in. 14-14, game 2. Middle, Trishman, chance for a point. Grimmel, ding. Taya Tafa is stuffed.
As much success as Taya Tafa was having earlier on in the tournament, she's struggling now. 21 attempts, Chris, only 6 successful kills.
Speaking of 6, sixth game point for Texas. Taya Tafa dinks, rejected, double contact, and Texas holds on. Williams Arena on the campus of the University of Minnesota. And these fans, what a great crowd they are. They had a great year this year here in Minnesota, almost making it to the NCAA playoffs under Stephanie Schluter. Well, many people thought they should have gotten in. Perhaps they should have, but the fans turning out anyway. And volleyball in the Big Ten is alive and well. Ball is jousted over. Texas in white, Hawaii in green. And Quandolyn Harrell rockets one to the moon. That happens.
It happens. It doesn't matter if it's out by 2 inches or 20 feet, and that was one of the 30-foot varieties.
If you're Dave Shoji, what do you tell your team in between games, Paul?
I think they have to just concentrate and work on getting into some side-out rhythm. They've really not been siding out well, receiving serve well, and not turning points. That was a free ball opportunity, and Trishman not able to set the ball successfully to the outside.
And when Paul says side out, it just means they're not getting the ball back, getting that possession. They're having some problems, and give Texas credit, they're creating the problems. Shelf out, Harrell, out of bounds, and that's a point for Hawaii. So Hawaii needs to get off to a quick start in game 3 if they have to have hope. Mary Robbins will serve. Back set, blocked, Trishman, but covered. Outside, Taya Tafa blocked, but out of bounds. So Carolyn Taya Tafa gets a kill. And it's a 3-0 Wahine lead. Every time Hawaii has played in the championship, they have won. That is in danger now.
Shelf out with a very nice back set. Dawn Davenport, All-American this year, first team Southwest Conference Player of the Year, usually hits in the middle. Here she is from the right side, finding the hole in the block, and you saw the Hawaii Rainbow middle blocker late. Give credit to Shelf out for deceiving the the Hawaii middle blocker.
Nice up by Harrell. Hawaii on the attack. Stuff. Quandolyn Harrell. Quandolyn with a 36-inch vertical leap, so she is able to get over the net. And Dawn Davenport, the leading Longhorn spiker at the moment. Trishman. Hawaii begging for a touch, but they will not get one.
It looked like there was a touch. Texas blocker in position. Looked like Trishman successfully did hit the ball off her hand, but they do not get the call.
If it was a touch, it was a micro touch. No one saw it. Into the middle of the defense. Texas has it. Here comes Quandolyn. Middle, Trishman. And Trishman able to put the ball away. So Carrie Trishman coming alive in the middle.
She's doing a superb job. We've talked so much about her injuries. She's had 18 attempts tonight, 6-7 kills. She's doing a nice job. What she needs to do is block a few balls.
Perfect pass. Texas able to run the offense so easily. And I think Hawaii's serving has really eased up, it seems.
They've taken the pressure off. Texas, if they have one disadvantage, they're not able to receive serve as well possibly as Hawaii. And I think the Rainbows have to put more pressure on.
Down the line goes Taya Tafa, but two of the Texas blockers have touched the net. Can't do that as Taya Tafa will go back to serve. She's from National City down in the San Diego area. 3-2 Hawaii. Outside. Spike out of bounds. And Hawaii with their biggest lead of any game. They are up by 2.
Let's see if Shelfout comes back over her head to Quanderlin Harold. Doesn't get a good enough pass.
Through the block and down, Katie Salen. Salen's a great story. She's set with injuries her entire career. A stress fracture in '86, shoulder in '87, broke her hand this year. She's playing through, and she has played brilliantly. Super sub, Grimmel is in. Trishman out of bounds. And it's obvious that Dave Shoji said, look, set the middle, let's get it going, but they're having trouble getting it in.
Well, Mick Haley told me that they might just sort of half block on the middle because they were so afraid of Taya Tafa and T. Williams. But they're not only digging the ball, they're also getting errors out of the middle of the Hawaii Rainbow offense.
Texas ties it up. 3 out of the last 4 points have gone to the Lady Longhorns. Off the head of Nichols, and Nichols fixes her hair as T. Williams does a permanent job on the perm.
T. Williams again not looking too pleased. Hands up and over the net, but sometimes hitters just have a way hitting the ball through your hands and off the top of your noggin.
Quick perm for Nichols.
Didn't cost her anything either.
4-4 game 3. Ball is dug. Texas on the attack and into the net. Lift call and a good one. Hawaii still hasn't found the rhythm though, and they're not playing smoothly. 5-4, the Wahines lead. Outside, Shishchak, beautiful dink. A paralyzing dink on the Wahine defense.
Shishchak, known for her ball control, been turning it up as a spiker tonight. Got the Rainbows back on their heels. Here's the change of pace. Nobody home.
4-5. Over to T. Oh my gosh. Left-handed T. Williams. As good as any left-hand spiker in the world can hit it.
Just watch this. No opportunity to hit the ball right-handed, so he says, okay, left-handed, I'll put the ball down.
Spike is out of bounds, and Hawaii once again with a 2-point lead. Would you say the crowd is for Texas here, Paul?
Yes, yes.
We're in a Big Ten city. They cheered on Illinois, but Illinois couldn't quite make it, so they've adopted Texas. Spike out of bounds. Welcome back to the NCAA Division I Women's Collegiate Volleyball Championships. That was Mick Haley. He is the coach of Texas. His team leads 2-0. However, they trail here in game 3, 7-4 to the University of Hawaii. Hawaii is the defending NCAA champion, and they are starting to show some pizzazz. They are starting to come on, their biggest lead of the match. I'm Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. Glad you could join us here on ESPN. Little dink shot, and once again, sometimes the blockers have to take a step back and play that ball.
Well, a very difficult play to make. When you see the roll shot, because of the topspin, it's going to go down quickly. Usually don't have time. They deflected it. They could have turned.
8-4, Hawaii leads Texas. T. Williams starting to look unstoppable now, Paul.
Well, there are some players that are just so good physically that they're only able to stop themselves, and T. Williams is one of those players. Nobody's going to stop her except herself if she hits the balls out of bounds.
T with the serve, out to Shishchak. It's tight, that's trouble. She keeps it in play. Middle, dinked. Here comes the joust. Here comes another. Oh, nice save by Sincerova. Nichols will run it down. And Grimmel. Listen to the players call the signals. Back over. Taya Tafa again. Blocked. Important rally for Texas. And Hawaii comes up with it.
Did everything possible to stop Taya Tafa. Blocked her twice. Dug her once. Shishchak not at all happy with that. Scrambled just not long enough.
Mick Haley with a substitution.
Mary Robbins on the spot, dinks the ball over. Cannot be played by Texas.
Into the net. That was Annette Garza coming into the match. As Texas starting to make some substitution. Quanderlin Harold back into the front line. Garza is a freshman from San Antonio, a Fab 50 player out of Volleyball Monthly. She is a very talented player, but hasn't played much. Let's see what she can do. Haley perhaps resting his players for game 4. This one isn't over yet. It just seems that way. That's out of bounds. Tayatafa begging for a touch.
She's just going to keep hitting the line. She's going to try to beat the block. Dagmara Shishchak will try to serve tough cross court.
Oh, an ace! Shishchak. And just when you think the Longhorns are out of gas, they get a lift from Shishchak.
I left out one adjective. Tough cross court and very short, even in front of T. Williams.
2 straight points for Texas. Forberg, Anna Forberg, putting the ball down. As Dave Shoji sends back in Carrie Trishman. And serving is Mary Robbins. Through the block and down. Dawn Davenport.
Davenport carrying a big load here tonight, Chris, already with 30 attempts, 13 successful kills. That time ripping the ball in between the blockers.
In the middle to Trishman, but Nichols netted. And Hawaii will get the ball. Forberg to serve. Haley will sub again. Back into the match. Sue Shelfout. And Forberg will serve. She's a senior. Her last match. Shelfout. Oh, a bullet dug by T. Dink cross court right to Tayatafa. And Trishman rips it out of bounds again. Unbelievable. Trishman's getting good wood on it, but the ball is just taking off on it.
Well, she's making good connection with her setter. She just cannot find that back line.
Shelfout will serve. 9-6.
T. Williams in perfect position on defense beginning of that rally, but again, Hawaii not able to convert hitting the ball out.
Carolyn Tayatafa will serve. Yesterday, she saw snow for the first time, as did 6 of the Wahine players, and they loved it. As we said, it's very, very cold outside.
Come on, let's push. Stacy and Dawn. Dawn.
And McHaley talking to his All-American, Dawn Davenport. T, here she comes. Kaboom. I was talking to Stanford coach Don Shaw at a convention meeting today, and the strategy was give T. Williams line, and Don Shaw said to me, don't give her too much line or someone on Texas is going to get hurt. Dink again, and Shishchak has seen something in the Rainbow Wahine defense, her 3rd dink.
Well, she seems to be just hiding it until the very last second. Change of pace. The Rainbow Wahines have to do something to play a little bit of a rotation or a man-up defense against her on the left side. As T. Williams, it doesn't matter. Again, she can only stop herself. The Texas defense has got to overload that slot inside the block. They're not even getting a hand on that shot right now.
Deep serve. Outside, Shishchak. Nice dig by Tayatafa. Almost an alligator dig in the backcourt. T with the dink. Swatted back. T again. Cranks it. And T. Williams racking them up now.
21 kills for T. Williams.
Is that all?
34 swings. A 500 batting average is awfully good in volleyball. A kill percentage, T. Williams way over that.
In the middle to Davenport. Still Hawaii double teaming as Shishchak. You gotta love the way Shishchak is mixing it up on the outside.
She has the Hawaii defense completely befuddled when she's attacking the ball. Hard down the line, hard off the top of the hands, or the little dink over the block.
Another good serve. The lead is 4. Hawaii. Texas with a dig. Into the middle, Davenport, slap shot. And T with a dink. And Texas forced to keep it in play. Free ball. Trouble. I like the way Texas plays the ball up after they get used on the outside. Another dink. Whole lot of dinking going on, and there's a kill. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland with you from Williams Arena on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Texas and Hawaii battling for the NCAA championship. Texas won the first 2 games, 15-4 and 16-14. the defending NCAA champion Hawaii Wahine Rainbows are trying to come back. They lead here in game 3, 10-7. But it has been a struggle all the way. Texas playing very well, and Hawaii has elevated their game, and now they are playing well too.
Well, T. Williams has just carried her teammates on her shoulders back into this match. She's just been killing the ball, serving well, receiving well, and playing good defense.
Laura Phillips with the serve. Back set, Davenport, Phillips with a dig. And down goes Taya Taffa, and up she comes. And a beautiful look by Sue Shelfout. Shelfout, a senior, very, very experienced, doesn't get as much credit as she should. The setters never do, but she has run the offense beautifully. Quandolyn Harrell checking in for Grimmel. Serving is Shishchak. Only a sophomore. She's played with the poise of a senior. Forwerk is dug. In the middle, high two. And Sincerova comes with the save. And inside, Davenport with 2 players on her, Paul, able to put it away.
Dagmara Shishchak was a setter in high school. Not surprising that she would control the ball fairly well, and went to her big All-American middle blocker in the middle.
10-8. The Hawaii lead starting to shrink. Taya Taffa blocked. A substitution coming back in, T. Williams. Going out, Laura Phillips. Davenport having a big match as Shishchak will serve. Back set. Robbins is dug. And Davenport again. Dawn Davenport. After the semifinals, Mick Haley said we played Texas volleyball. Well, this is Texas volleyball.
Here on to Dawn Davenport. No setter in sight. Just rips the ball past the block and off the defensive Carrie Trishman.
We are tied at 10. I don't think anybody would have thought it. Texas 5 points away from an NCAA championship. Hawaii struggling to stay alive. They need to win this game. Middle. Dug up. Taya Taffa, dug. Harrell bombs away.
Quandolyn Harrell is one of the talents of the future, and she showed you when all cylinders are pumping at the same time, she can just rip the ball cross court. Sue Shelfout faking in the middle. Dawn Davenport hustling, and Quandolyn Harrell whooping it out.
Dave Shoji substituting once again. Miley Golden in, trying to slow it down. Texas on a run of 5. Shishchak with the serve. Good pass by Golden. Back set, Robbins. And down the line, Mary Robbins. We've talked about her knee problems, but she responds with a clutch kill.
Difficult spike down the line from the right side. The dig was almost made. Another chance for Texas.
Mary Robbins will serve. T. Williams in the back court, and Coach Dave Shoji hoping she will get up there soon. Back set. And Davenport, who has been unbelievable. 16 kills. Make that now 17.
And 6 blocks, Chris.
She's done it all year for them. Our first team All-American. The Lady Longhorns lead by 1. Game 3. Middle. Dug out of bounds. Trishman whacked that hard, Paul.
Well, she's been getting good wood, as we referred to earlier, and she found the court and the defense of Texas that time.
On the good wood, she's been hitting a lot of foul balls, but she got that one in play. A beautiful spike. Outside to Harrell. And Quandolyn puts it down, and what a bonus for Texas. Quandolyn Harrell.
To the outside again. Quandolyn, perfect timing and rhythm, just exploding cross court.
The lead is 1 for Texas. Dink. Harrell can't get there. An agonizing dink for the Texas fans. Substitution coming in for Hawaii.
Little dink shot. Quandolyn, not known for her defense and her ball control and court movement, almost got to that short shot.
First appearance in the tournament, Jamie Payette, a back row specialist. Let's see if she can lift Hawaii. They need it desperately. Fodeberg has it. Chance to tie. T. Off the block. See if they go to Quandelin. Yes, Quandelin. And Quandelin says, see ya. The pride of Elgin, Texas. And Quandelin will check out now for Janine Grimmel.
3 great kills in a row from Quandelin Harrell. You can see her vertical jump. The coaches at Texas say almost 36 inches. Really got them through a tough spot.
Trouble, they go to T. And T puts it down right through the hole.
T. Williams is going to get her kills from the left, the middle, and the right, but she might be right now one of the best left side spikers in the entire United States. Just total disdain for the block.
Trishman with the serve. Texas up by 1. Shishchak blocked out of bounds. Seems to me, Paul Sunderland, if Texas can stay even when T. Williams in the front line, when she goes to the back line, they have a chance to win it.
If Texas is ahead or tied when T. Williams goes to the back row again, Texas is a big favorite to come out of this with a 3-0 victory.
But they have to get to 15 before she gets back up to the front line.
Well, I'm counting on that.
Tayatafa back in. 11-10, game 3. Texas won the first 2. T. Williams dug beautifully. That was Shishchak. Here it comes. Shishchak with a chance. They bump into each other. Shishchak.
Low set.
And Hawaii was there. T. Cross court. T. Williams. Where would the Wahines be without that woman?
This match would be over if not for T. Williams. Shishchak took her best shot early in the rally, so she says, okay, I'll just hit it a little bit sharper, and gets the kill. Hit jump as high possibly as Quandelin Harrell.
T. Williams off the hands, and T. Williams kills it. And now we are tied at 11. Sincerova had the serve. T. Williams, lethal from every position. Game 3, Texas won the first 2. Hawaii will serve.
Both teams playing at a very high level, Chris. Lots of defensive saves from very, very hard shots.
Straight down, Hawaii could not get out there. And another beautiful set by Shelfout. One-on-one isolation. Shishchak doing her thing as Salem serves deep. There's T. Dinks. Middle. Into the net for contact. But now T. Williams rotates to the back line. And if Texas gets a side out, they will not have to deal with T at the net. Hawaii needs to score a couple points here. Get a little relief. Shishchak off speed as she mixed it up. Threw in a screwball among the fastballs.
Again, good change of pace, and she just drifts the ball into the block. The block is coming down. Not good timing. A successful side out for Texas.
Short serve. Remember, T. Williams in the back line. They go to Fodeberg. She's dug. Chance for a point. That's set. And Hawaii. I don't know what happened, Paul. They stopped right in the middle of the play.
The ball went off the top of the block and then went between Sincerova and number 1 for Hawaii, T. Williams. Sincerova wants to release to go set the ball. T. Williams hesitated. Texas
with a 1-point lead. 3 points away from an NCAA championship. Tayatafa blocked. Tayatafa kills it. Carolyn Tayatafa, the hopes of the Wahines and the islands of Hawaii resting on the freshman.
Hawaii playing extremely well. What they need to do to push through while T. Williams is in the back row is get a block from Trishman or Fodeberg. They need to score right here.
And they do. Paul Sunderland says it. The Wahines do it. And we are tied at 12. Remember, you must win by 2 in collegiate volleyball.
Maybe Hawaii counting too much and we talking too much about T. Williams. Hawaii can push through here with some good blocking.
Dawn Davenport, Tayatafa, and the save made by Texas. What a key play. Tayatafa, dink, rejected. Texas. That defensive save under the net, and Dave Shoji saying, hey, wasn't she under?
Actually, Dave Shoji thought that the Texas blockers were in the net. The ball is blocked back down. Long rally. This play's not over. Shelfout able to keep it in play, and Texas ends up winning the rally.
Ball is put away by Hawaii. 12-12. Janine Grimmel, who is in the front line for Gwendolyn Harrell. Texas will serve. 12-12, game 3. Shelf out. T. Williams still in the back line for Hawaii. Middle, Trishman. Carrie Trishman puts it away.
Superb play by Trishman. Again, connecting very well and finding the court with consistency now in the front middle.
Ball poked up. Here comes Salen. Outside to Williams. Here she comes. And she's dug. Offside blocker. They'll set T again. No secret. Here she comes again. And she wails it out of bounds. So great defense by Texas.
Grimmel again. Number 7 right there in your screen, taking her best cross-court shot from T. Williams. Grimmel up at the net blocking, gets back and plays defense. You didn't get a chance to see it here in the replay, forces T. Williams to swing twice.
Back to the action, T. Williams. Thunders one through.
T again, we're calling her number so many times, as done Martina Sincerova, now with 25 kills tonight.
Out of bounds. A costly serving error, and now Texas will serve. 12-12, game 3. We're at Williams Arena in Minnesota. Two teams battling for the Division I NCAA championship. T. Williams. Cross court, dug again. And that time the dig going out of bounds. And Martina Sincerova will go back and put the ball in play. Both teams on 12. Long dink. T. Williams, here she comes. Off the hands, out of bounds. T. Williams. The Texas coach, Mick Haley, his team won the first 2 games. We believe this is a game that Texas has to win. They trail by 1, 13-12. Hawaii, the defending champion. They want to take it to 5. Texas with an important side out. Remember, Texas has not lost a game in this NCAA tournament. They have won 14 straight games. But now they trail by 1. Over the net. Off the hands. Forderberg, dug. And both teams a little nervous right now, and they should be. There's a point. And so Texas has tied it up. And quickly a timeout by Dave Shoji.
Texas continues to play good defense, getting time and again opportunities to convert for points. Little confusion here. T. Williams, Mary Robbins coming together. Forward just aiming for the top of the block. Clearly over and out. Texas celebrating another point. They're tied now at 13. Dave Shoji looking down at his notes. You get a look inside the huddle of the Texas Longhorns. They know they're 2 points away. They know that Hawaii is favored. When you have an opponent down, you have to take them out when you can. Hawaii could easily come back and win the next 3 games, or the next 2 games after this, should they win here. Texas has got to feel pressure to finish it out.
How close is Mick Haley? Texas beat Colorado State. They beat Texas Arlington and UCLA. And now his team is just 2 points away. Agonizingly close. As the Lady Longhorns serve. Katie Salen to put it in play. And she does. They'll go forwards to Forderberg. Blocked. Forward to T. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. And now, Dave Shoji is going to make a substitution. Miley Golden coming in. And Trishman going out. Shoji down to his final point. His dream of back-to-back slipping away. Championship point for Texas. Back set, T, off the hands, a saving spike for T. Williams. And Mick Haley applauding T. Williams going into the backcourt. He has to feel very good about his chances.
Hawaii trails, excuse me, Chris, 13-14. T. Williams now in the back row.
Dug by Golden. And Williams hits it out of bounds. And Haley He's never won an NCAA championship. He won an AIAW one in 1980, but this is the biggest serve, the biggest point of his career. Match point number 2.
Watch Don Davenport blocking in the middle.